There has been a lot of discussion about Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan and whether or not this fight was a robbery. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to tell you how I scored the fight, and we're going to see if this was a robbery or if it was a good decision. Let's start off with what we know for certain. Aljamain Sterling won the second round. We know this for sure. He had 3.5 minutes of control time, and he dominated this round. Everyone knows he won this round unless your name is Petr Yan.
I win first round. I win second round, guys.
Are you sure about that?
Now moving on, the next thing we know for certain is Aljamain Sterling won round 3 as well. Go ahead and take a look at his face. Does it look like he's losing this round? Now, there's two other things we know. Petr Yan took round 4 and he took round 5. So, we skipped the first round and we scored the last 4, and we have it 2-2 even split. So, we've scored rounds 2 through 5. I think we can all agree that out of these 4 rounds, it's 2 apiece. The question we have is, what is round 1 scored? And then, is there any 10-8 rounds? Round 1 is a pretty indecisive round. If you look at significant strikes, Aljamain Sterling still outlanded Petr Yan 19-13. Per usual, Petr Yan was a pretty slow starter, and it took him about a minute to even land a strike. With that being said, Petr Yan landed 50% while Aljamain Sterling landed at 47%. Not a huge difference here. There's no wrestling or grappling you have to score because Aljamain Sterling attempted 2 takedowns but didn't get either of them. Now, throughout this entire round, Aljamain was on the outside, always trying to stick and move. Petr Yan was overall the aggressor and the one coming forward. Now, if you look at the rules, effective striking and grappling shall always be considered the first priority of round assessments. Effective aggressiveness is Plan B, and Plan C is cage and ring control. So everything has to be perfectly even to even get there. So although Petr Yan did control the cage in the first round, we can't really give him credit for that. Yes, neither fighter really landed a substantial strike, but Aljamain Sterling was able to be the more effective striker in the first round. So I personally gave him this first round. The next thing we have to look at is there any 10-8 rounds? In the one round you can look at is round 2, where Aljamain Sterling had 3 minutes and 50 seconds of control time and landed 42 strikes to Petr Yan's 21. Aljo had a body triangle for just about the entirety of that round. He landed a lot of strikes and was threatening with submissions. Now, I don't think the fight was ever close to being done, but if you look at what it takes to get a 10-8 round, you can see that it's a lot about dominating positions. It also says if a fighter has little to no offensive output during a 5-minute round, it should be normal for the judge to consider awarding the losing fighter 8 points instead of 9. Now, I personally didn't have this as a 10-8 round. I think the MMA rules are so iffy and it's hard to determine what even is a 10-8 round. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people did give it as a 10-8 round though. But with that being said, I did have it 48-47 for Aljamain Sterling. But who cares about what I think? Let's see what the judges said, and then let's see what the media scorecards are. 2 of the judges had it 48-47 for Sterling, while Chris Lee was 48-47 for Yan. What's interesting is when you look at the media scorecards, 11 of them had it for Sterling, 5 of them had it for a draw, and 2 of them had it for Yan. What's interesting here is there weren't a lot of 48-47s for Sterling. There was only one. A lot of them were 48-46, and there was even a 48-45. I don't see how anyone can have it 48-45 personally. I think even 48-46 is a little much, but I guess if they give him the first round and a 10-8, it would be that. But regardless, it seems like the media overall thinks that Sterling won this, and if he didn't, Petr Yan got a draw at best. So I personally am okay with the decision. I don't think it's a robbery. I think that's an overused term. This is a super, super close fight, and it's one that I personally think Aljamain Sterling won. I think these guys could go tit for tat, and I think they are going to see each other again in the future. Now I'll leave you with a quote from the great Ray Longo.
God, you gotta love Ray Longo. He's fucking breaking. Look at him. He's fucking breaking.